Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Justin from Save Your Soul Studio.
I have a cat.
Just before Thanksgiving last year, I was commissioned to do a mural in downtown Seneca, Missouri. And this was one of the more challenging pieces of artwork I've ever done in my life. The challenge was that I couldn't touch any of the existing artwork that was on the building. Yes, it was not a blank wall. There were some other existing pieces of historical artwork on this wall that I could not touch. And the customer wanted an Indian, and the customer wanted some military theme, and the customer wanted some
wings,
some
with
sort
a
of
W
like,
with the
there,
flames on
small
the
town
Lost Creek
vibe.
art.
And hey, that's fine. I love a good challenge, but what I'm doing has to look good. I owe it to myself, and I especially owe it to the customer who's paying me. Because when it really comes down to it, my artwork, the composition has to match, it has to make sense, and it has to look good. And can I even execute the thing with the level of skill that's desired or required? Because this isn't just a painting that's hanging on somebody's wall in their house, unseen by the public. And it's certainly not a small painting like this one that's a little more easily executed.
This is a giant mural in the middle of downtown Seneca, Missouri on Lost Creek Flea Market, running right alongside Lost Creek there. It's on a 2-foot ledge of ground, not really enough room to put a scaffolding. A lot of challenges to this one. We're going to break this wall up into 3 phases. The first phase is roughly 14 feet high by 50 foot long. And you see the existing artwork there on the building that I have to go around.
So, what are we going to do? And how are we going to do it? Well, we got to sketch something up.
So let's pull out the iPad here and get something sketched up. For this artwork mock-up, we use the 2019 iPad Pro and Procreate. So we're going to open up Procreate and create a mock-up of the artwork on the wall. Just draw right over the wall so that the customer can see exactly what it's going to look like here. Now, the only picture I had at the time I started this mock-up was before the client cleared away the brush alongside the building. So I compiled the picture I had with images from Google Earth Street View to clean up the image for the mock-up. Once I got it clean, I looked at a lot of reference pictures and I began at the thing I'm most comfortable with, the wings. But my ADD likes to kick in a lot when I draw, and before I knew it, I had this vision of a giant Indian chief poking out of the negative space in between the artwork that's there. Rather than just to make other blocks of art and butt them up against these existing paintings, I chose to illustrate this theme behind the existing artwork. And this is really going to give it a sense of depth while at the same time complementing what the other artists have done on the wall. And then here I'm picking a red, white, and blue color that I think will also complement what's already there. Now the color choices are subject to change by the time we get to the actual painting, but I think this is going to serve as a good mock-up for the client and a solid foundation for us to get started on this project.
So now we've got the concept art done. Let me take you to the spot so that we can get started.
Come on, boys, it's time to get painting. Yeah, yeah, yeah!
Here in Seneca, Missouri, to button up this historical mural here. And it is a beautiful day. Perfect day for painting. Some major challenges with this one. As you can see, the ground conditions are not the best for attempting something like this. And then of course there's the challenge of whenever you're painting, you want to step back and look at how it's going. Well, you can't step back too far or you'll fall off of a ledge. There's all these challenges that are here, but I believe that the Lord is going to bless us with being able to do this mural here. Give them something that reflects the city, the town of Seneca, the history. This building used to be a 2-story hotel. It was amazing, but we shall see. All right, let's go.
First, we got to get our artwork onto the wall, so I would normally use a projector in this instance. I could use a doodle grid, but we went ahead and settled for some VR goggles. This is just going to speed up the process. It is my artwork. We're just getting it on the wall in the quickest way possible, most cost-efficient way possible. I really do like this new technology. It saves a whole lot of time in prepping your outline for your mural. For me, the beginning parts, the beginning stages of a mural are the most nerve-wracking for me. I'm still trying to get my groove in it. Other people that are walking up are thinking, what in the world is going on that wall? It just doesn't look good at this point. There's a lot of little things to fill in. You know, it's just basic shapes, basic contrast is what I'm putting in here. I want to preserve the integrity of the outline. I don't want to lose where my lines are. But this part is really like not my favorite part, doing the initial things. And so I get a little carried away with trying to blend, and then I have to go back and say, no, I'm just doing the foundation here. I'm just doing the base. Really hard for me not to like jump ahead to the end product.
It's getting hot, man. It is 67 degrees, but it feels like it's 90. All right, back to work.
But I was pretty confident in the direction that this was going, so it wasn't long and we had to set the scaffolding up.
It's quite treacherous. Trying to put a scaffolding up on this edge. Got to document it on camera just in case I fall, because then it'll be funny. Because I probably won't die. If I fall, just fall out wide and land on your back. You'd be all right. Talk about a heart attack, huh? Oh, shoot. Come on. All right, good. Sweet.
Just as I was finished setting the scaffolding up, I noticed that I started drawing a crowd of locals who were interested in what I was doing.
It's gonna be an Indian chief. You got an old coal miner, like from the 1920s. Salute to the military up here. Classic.
Right, Dad. I just bumped your phone. We're going like the creek, right?
That's all right, it's in the creek. Well, that'll make for an interesting shot.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. A bunch of stuff, so just stay tuned.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on it. We come up here a lot.
Hit your tripod is what happened, and then the phone just kind of...
I know, it was an accident. I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good. Oh.
You don't seem real upset. Is it insured, I assume?
No, I serve the Lord Jesus Christ. So it's just a phone, and it was an accident. He didn't mean to do it. Now, if he meant to do it, then we might have a problem. But I put it there. I had the tripod leg sticking out. It's just an accident. It just, you know, I'll have to go get it, but hey, it fell into water. So look, that's a blessing, right? My name's Justin. My hands are kind of dirty, but
Andy.
Do you live in Seneca?
Yes.
Okay, well, this is for you. This mural, this is for you guys, okay? An old coal miner, a soldier. There's gonna be some military guys up here, some big wings. They're gonna go over the top of that. It's
beautiful.
It's really gonna tie it in. I'm not going over the old murals. I'm just going behind them. Town.
You live here?
I live in Seneca, yeah. I live on the outskirts.
As you continue to say, this was an accident.
Like, you know, I had it like this, so.
Oh, that's why.
You know what I mean? So he probably went like this.
Yes, that is exactly what happened.
So.
And then he
it's
tried
my
to
fault.
catch it.
I'll go get it. It's not a big deal. Plus, I got the whole thing on camera. Let's see. Here it is. Don't get your boots wet. Don't get wet. My feet didn't get wet. It's still recording. Huh?
It was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm doing a video and I'm writing an original song for it as well.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So look, it's still recording.
It was finally time to get this Indian chief knocked out, a tribute to the Seneca Indians, and most importantly, the history of this town. Without the Seneca Cayuga people, there would be no town named Seneca. They were forced west in the 1830s due to a harsh Indian removal acts. And decades later, when the town was founded in 1868, it took the name Seneca, echoing a presence that had already touched the land. the Seneca Cayuga, born of the Iroquois Confederacy, carried west by history, still here to this day. Nundawagage, the people still here. I painted on into the night, the amber work light shining a spotlight on what was to become a start of a 50-year art project, finally shaking hands and coming together. It was the end of day one. Here we are, day two. It is about 36 degrees outside right now, so it's a little too cold for painting. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this ground situation fixed, because I don't know how I'm gonna have a double scaffold and deal with this kind of ground condition. Here's fine, but this is all kinds of problematic to scoot and move a double scaffold. We're gonna go ahead and fix this ground condition so that we can get that outline up there so that we can get done. Filled in the low spots in the ground with some loose boards, put some plywood over that to level out the ground and give us a hard, smooth surface for our double stack scaffolding to roll up across. And then of course, we just completed the outline. It's all that we could do on this day because of the cold weather. After a minor setback in the weather, it was finally gonna be a day worthy of painting again. And as the sunlight shone through the trees, on the way there, I had a feeling that today was gonna be the day that this mural was really gonna start to take shape.
Day two.
And it was time to set up the scaffolding again. Now, I thank God for my dad, who let me borrow his scaffolding for this project. Without a scaffolding, it would have been an absolute nightmare to paint this mural. And so I'm very thankful, but since I did not own this scaffolding, it was not mine, I had to completely tear it down and pack it up after every day I was out here, on the off chance that someone would, come by and steal it. If it was my scaffolding, I definitely would have probably left it out here and figured out how to chain it to the ground or something. Guys, by this point, I've already set up and taken down the scaffolding 3 times. And now comes the day that we have to put a scaffolding on top of a scaffolding. It was exhausting. And there's thoughts going through my head like, you're insane. You'll never be able to finish this by the time the weather turns. And the thought of setting this up and tearing this down for another 2 days, guys, it was really discouraging. But, I prayed. I prayed and I asked God to give me strength. I wear his name and I do all things for him. And so it has to be excellent and I have to finish what I started. Climbing up on this scaffolding and hoisting up the other pieces up here without being able to be tied off until I got to the 2nd level, well, it wasn't ideal. And if you're watching at home, I don't personally recommend that you do it this way. But this is what I had to work with here, and we did have a fall harness for working up high, so that is a good thing. It's definitely a good thing when this was all over, not to have to do this all over again like this.
It is now the 2nd full day of painting. We have our work cut out for us today. Yes, we do. We're gonna get this soldier up here on the wall. This is the day after Veterans Day. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the deadline for Veterans Day because of the weather, but what are you gonna do? This is for the veterans anyway. We appreciate you and we support you. Box of paint.
Next is a tribute to the soldiers, the men and women who literally laid it all on the line so that we can all enjoy the freedoms unique to our country. At first, I was upset that I had to paint this behind something else. I felt like covering up such an important figure was kind of a disrespect. But then I thought some more. It isn't a mistake that this saluting soldier stands behind the historical mural work painted in the 70s by Calvin Ackerson. Because behind the history of this town are these brave men and women who never put themselves first. They put God and country first. Embedded in the persona of the soldier is a selflessness that we can all learn from. You know, the Bible says, endure hardness like a good soldier. It's not about us. It was never about us. It's about how we can serve others. And I'm thankful to God for the lesson that they teach us. To all those who serve, have served, or will serve, we thank God for you. We support you. And we salute you. And then it was time for me to see how well the groundwork that I had done helped me to slide the scaffolding, and it worked out pretty well. Now it's just time to finish up the rest of this American flag, the Old Glory flying over the town, perfectly complementing the background here. Really bright reds and really bright whites really serve to pop this out. We also put the color of the sky in back here to carry through that sky color of that center part of the mural, and to just kind of tie everything together here. Now, I couldn't get the scaffolding to sit right closer to the end of the wall, so I ended up having to lean over the edge, and man, it was a workout for the arms, but it worked, you know. And my family showed up to watch me, and it was really good to have their company while I was finishing this part of the mural. It had been a long day. It was really good to see their faces and to talk to them, and you know, they helped me take the scaffolding down, which was a bonus. I'm really thankful for my family. I give God thanks for them. Tanya, Maddox, Bella, I love you guys. Then I began to work on this minor portrait. This man in the 1930s. He represents the last of his kind, but the culmination of wisdom from those of the old mining days. Part of the tri-state mining district that was really active in the four-state area. Yet another tribute to the history and people of Seneca, a town that's seen its fair share of grit and hardship. With the arrival of day 3, I was optimistic about the progress that we'd been making. And surprisingly enough, as much of a chore as I thought setting the scaffolding up was going to be, I actually found it to be not that bad today. I don't know if it was just me getting used to setting everything up, but it really wasn't so bad by day 3. I'd kind of like maybe found my groove. I don't know what it is, but the scaffolding went up pretty quick. We were able to get up to the top and work on that outline for the wings. I've done wings so many times, I probably could have done something that looked good without running an outline on it at all, but I wanted it to be true to the mock-up that I gave the customer, so we went ahead and did the outline. I carried over the sky, put some clouds in to match the clouds on the historical mural beneath me. Began filling in the blue around the wings. The client had discussed how he really wanted some nice color in these wings, so we went ahead and added some oranges and some reds to the wings. I think it actually turned out really nice. Well, what are your thoughts? Leave us a comment below. What's up, you guys? We are on day 4 and the mural continues. Stayed up late last night, got this banner knocked out, blocked in, a little bit more shading to do on it. This Indian chief here, Seneca Cayuga, standing proud there. We got a coal miner down here. I know it's kind of hard to see. We got a tribute to our veterans up there, military. We're gonna finish the wings out today. Up on the top here, it was really nice. The family of Calvin Ackerson stopped by this morning and encouraged me and said that it looked good, and that really means a lot to have the owners of this magnificent mural in the center here, this historical part of the town, stop by and encourage the work that's going on here. It just really means a lot. So we're gonna finish out these wings up here today. All right, let's get to it.
Don't forget, you're not just making a painting, you're making a movie too.
Now, I hope you're not all getting bored at home by watching the same thing over and over again, because this is just the same thing that you guys saw yesterday with the wings. It's just the other side of the wing. So while you're waiting, why don't you go ahead and smash that like button and then smash that subscribe button, if you will. It'll really help to support the channel. And then drop us a comment in the comments section. Tell us how your day's going. Tell us how you're doing. Here you get to see a pretty good up-close view of the wings that I was doing. Yesterday, my camera actually died, and so it was good to get a couple up-close shots of the process here. And with that, the day was finished. Well, we finished up the top of the wings, and we decided to get going on this banner down here. I really wanted to put a lot of bright colors in here. It was really nice to be able to work on the ground finally and not have to set up a scaffold. I didn't have to set up a scaffold today. I was very, very happy about that. You know, I've done lots and lots of banners. It was a nice, easy thing to do at the end. It was like a treat for myself after having done everything on the top for the past few days. I really like using the Montana 94 paint and the skinny creams. I do pretty much all the work. All the work on this mural I've pretty much done exclusively with skinny creams. I've used a couple of astrofats for the big fade in areas and stuff, like the solid areas, but for the most parts I'm just exclusively using skinny creams and Montana 94, for those of you who want to know how I'm doing it. The customer wanted a banner in here. It said Lost Creek Art, and I thought, you know, what better place to put a long drawn out banner underneath in this thin area under the pre-existing artwork, and I think that it came out pretty good. And at the end of day 5, we have a finished mural. And we have a finished mural. It is a finished work. I want to give a shout out to Brian and Amanda Warner from Lost Creek Flea Market, Warner Enterprises. That's what the W represents up there, for graciously hosting Save Your Soul Studio to do their mural here to add to this historic piece by Calvin Ackerson. And I really wanted to do this piece justice. I really wanted to add to it. I didn't want to take away from this. You be the judge. Did we do that? Did we accomplish what we set out to do? Now, it was difficult. It was perilous. You can see there's a drop here. The boards are still out here from where I had to level the ground. We got to get that cleaned up today. But overall, phase 1 is complete. Phase 2 will begin sometime in the spring. We're going to add some classic cars. We're going to add some other stuff down there. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an honor and it's been a privilege to be able to do this work for the town of Seneca. If you are a business and you need a mural like this, you know where to go. Thank you.
"80 feet of weathered block with the past still hanging on. I'm masking off the 80s paint so I don't cover what's been drawn. 4 feet from the wall to Lost Creek, Windy footsteps on a ledge, paint cans are rattling like my heartbeat as I'm steadying up this edge. But this ain't just a contract job, this is more than a payday thing. It's a thank you to this hometown while I paint these wings. So here's to the soldiers who gave it all so we could live free, and the tri-state mining days that shaped our corner of Missouri. Here's to the Seneca Cayuga chief whose story still runs deep, and the wings God spreads above us over Lost Creek while we sleep. 'Cause Seneca stood tall by the same God who's leading me. Sometimes the public eyes feel heavy when they're watching from the street, wondering if these colors will belong or if they think I missed the beat. But every stroke is for the people, not for numbers or a view, for the neighbors who've endured the floods and the years that cracked us through. We've been carried through our trials and our blessings quietly grow by the same God who was faithful to the ones of long ago. So here's to the soldiers who gave it all so we could live free, and the tri-state mining days that shaped our corner of Missouri. Here's to the Seneca Cayuga chief whose story still runs deep, and the wings God spreads above us over Lost Creek while we sleep. 'Cause Seneca stood tall by the same God who's leading me. 45 years of old paint standing guard upon this wall. I ain't covering up their history, I'm just adding to it all. So I'll seal them off with plastic, let their legacy remain, let my can become a handshake with the ones who came and came. And when this mural dries in sunlight and the cameras fade away, may it preach the kind of story only simple towns can say. So here's to the soldiers who gave it all so we could live free, and the tri-state mining days that shaped our corner of Missouri. Here's to the Seneca Cayuga chief whose story still runs deep, and the wings God spreads above us over Lost Creek while we sleep. 'Cause Seneca stood tall by the same God who's leading me.